Hi, I'm Johnny from SXS, and this video is about the premium finishes that we offer from our production services. A lot of the events we do are in environments where the way things look and how much space they use is really critical, and we've developed a range of different equipment that we've manufactured and working practices to make sure our equipment looks really, really good. One of the other things I'd like to show now is our DJ booths. A lot of the time, traditionally, DJs' decks would go on a table or maybe a piece of stage deck or a custom box. But we've developed our own custom DJ booth system, which is based on years of experience and trying to get as many features in this one unit as possible. So I'll talk through them now. First thing with our DJ booth is it's made of wood, plyboard, which is great because every time it goes out we can repaint it. Right now it's come back from a job, painted white. We can just as easily paint in any colour, Pantone reference, Dulux colour, Farrow & Ball, whatever colour you want. Also, because it's made of wood, we can easily clad it in things like Formica or melamine or Foamex, and we can also skin it with vinyl transfer graphics. So it's really flexible to allow us to reflect a brand's message or a logo or whatever else we need to make it fit best in that environment. One of the other smaller features we put with the DJ booth is on this bit here where it cantilevers out, we've built some LED strip lighting in, which is a red, green, blue colour changing system. Right now it's on a kind of deep purple colour. What that means is that the base of the DJ booth can light up. It gives it like a good kind of bit of visual intrigue on site, and it can also tie in with the DMX lighting control of an overall lighting system. So on an event where we want a bit of a colour pop in a corner, or we want the lighting to match up with the dance floor lighting or the rest of the environment, we can change it and our lighting designer can control it from their desk. Often when we've got DJs performing, we need DJ monitors. That's the speaker that the DJ can hear the music back on. Sometimes these would be on a stand next to the DJ booth, but that's messy, it uses up space, just a bit scruffy. So what we've done is built into the system DJ monitoring speakers. It's pole mount, part of the box, and the speaker lives on the front here. So within this really small footprint of about 6 foot by 2 foot, we've got the DJ decks, the monitoring, and the table itself. So it saves space, and it's also a lot neater. On the kind of projects where this is used, we often have a very, very short setup window. So we've designed this to work with those kind of projects. In particular, the decks can stay set up the whole time. The speakers can live inside the box and can be installed very swiftly. And all of this has a cover that goes over the top. What that means is when we get to site, we position the DJ booth, take the cover off, plug the power in, and it's ready to go. And we also thought about how this unit works for DJs. So we've built inside here some LED strip down lighting. So rather than having to use a staged light or something a bit more garish, it's got very subtle, very discreet light that floods out from here, giving the DJ ample light to work on, but without flooding the space around the DJ with light, which can often be a really, really good feature in darker environments. One of the other ways we can set up our DJ equipment is using our very minimal keyboard stand style DJ booths. These are great when floor space is tight, and we also need to make the equipment very neat and minimal. This system is based around a professional keyboard stand, which is designed perfectly for putting live performance equipment on. And then we've got a very simple dish-based system which the equipment goes in. This is good because it's a very sturdy platform from which the decks can go on, but it also allows plenty of space around the back here for us to hide cabling and any other control equipment so you can't see it from the front. This system is absolutely ideal where floor space is very tight and we have to work around furniture or other obstructions in the venue. It's also very good because it allows the DJ to be seen by everyone. So clients often use this kind of system when it might be a celebrity DJ or someone where fashion's key and they want to see their body and the way that they work, which is distinctly different from the other DJ booths we offer, where it offers a much more hidden kind of performance space. And like a lot of our custom set pieces here, we can repaint this to be whatever colour you want. We can also do vinyl transfer graphics, such as brand names or hashtags, anything like that. If we need to as well, we can also dress it, but we do find that most clients, if they want a dressed box, they'll use one of our other systems. This is much more popular when you want a minimal kind of exposed look. So here's our standard bar units. We have a lot of these in stock. We manufacture them in-house, and we can make a lot more if we need to at short notice. Like a lot of our set pieces, it's based around 18mm plyboard. That's a really good material because it's very, very robust. We can repaint it, we can refurbish it, we can screw into it, and we can apply graphics to it. In addition to that, we can easily clad it in Formica or melamine, or we can cover it in Foamex print or vinyl transfer. So it's very, very flexible in terms of branding these to make them look like a custom item. The ability to make it look customized for a project is really valuable. Most clients want something that looks like it's been built for a specific event, but often the costs of doing that are quite prohibitive. So these units are fantastic for reskinning and branding to match a specific client's brand image or event. So when you take these off us, we can make them look like a custom item, even though they're actually a stock one. So while the main carcass is made of 18mm plyboard, this front panel here is of a Perspex material, which is opaque, but it's got lighting built inside it. In a dark environment, it's very, very punchy, but we can dim it down as well to match the overall light level and the ambience in the space. Taking around the back of the bar now, I'll show you the rest of the details. You'll see here that we've got a gastronorm ×3, which is where the bar person can put their lemon, lime, ice, whatever. It's also got a speed rail, so if you're doing cocktail mixing, you can store about 5, 6, maybe 7 bottles in the speed rail to get access to quickly. And for food hygiene purposes, it's always a freshly sealed surface, which makes it okay for general food preparation. They get repainted and resealed every time they go out, so they're always in very good condition internally. Furthermore, internally, each bar unit has a power input, a power output, and also some 13-amp sockets built into it. So should you wish to power a desk light or whatever, that power is available for you as well. But these bar units, they're not just bar units, they're also often used as DJ booths or reception counters or set pieces, and we have so many of them that we can't even stack them up and make some quite interesting sets out of them. They're a really versatile piece of equipment and they're very popular with our clients. So now I want to talk about lighting surrounds. Most lighting equipment is built to be reliable and durable and effective. It's not necessarily built for the physical light luminar itself to be attractive to look at. So to mitigate that, we've built a range of lighting surrounds. Very simple items, but they make events look a lot better. I'll take you through the 3 of them now. So this one here is a simple white folding surround. It literally folds up like that, very simple. And in this mock-up here, it's being used to hide a par can. We don't really use these much anymore these days, but it's just a good example of what some lights look like and how well the surround hides it. This next one here is a black folding surround. Again, very simple bit of kit, and that's hiding an LED fixture, which is a pretty typical light for us to use for uplighting in various venues, and it hides it very effectively. And this longer one here is being used to hide a LED batten. These are a longer lighting fixture, and they're used to cast like a sort of sheet of light up a wall rather than a narrower cone of light. So same idea with that. It folds up and then can be used to hide the lighting fixture. So with all of these, they're made of a 18mm plyboard, which means they're very weather resistant, and we can also repaint them every single time they go out. What that means is that because they're being painted, we can match them to an exact Pantone reference or a Dulux color or a Pharaon Bull color. That way we can make them work to precisely the event design or the branding. And because they're ply, we can also screw into them and attach vinyl graphics. So they can be branded, or they can have a pattern put on them so they match with an event space better. These are just some of the things we're doing to make it so our clients get the benefit of our equipment and our design and our lighting, but without having to see the technical equipment side of things. We want to see the effect of the equipment, but not the equipment itself. One of the other ways that we achieve a premium finish for our events is the way in which we rig our televisions. Traditionally, we would have used things like a K-stand or a truss tower to put our TVs on. The problem with them is that they're a little bit industrial for some events, and they generally present a bit of a trip hazard, which is very space inefficient in terms of having to cordon them off. So as an alternative to those methods, we've produced what we call our Game Boy plinths. This contains a 55-inch LCD LED backlit screen, which is 1920 by 1080, so essentially a standard commercial plasma TV. And it rests inside this plinth, which is an 18mm plyboard box. Like most of our set, it gets completely refurbished every single time it goes out, so we can repaint it any color you want. White's very popular, but we can also match a Pantone reference, Pharaon Bull color, Dulux, whatever paint you want. We can also do vinyl transfer graphics onto all 4 sides of it. And because it's plyboard, we can drill into it, screw into it, attach shelves. In fact, just recently, this one had a series of headphones attached to the front of it with cable going on the inside. So they're a very, very flexible solution for high-end events. What's more, because it's quite a large box, we've got the space inside to install all the control and processing equipment for the screen. What that means is that we don't have any other equipment dotted around the venue, and it also means you can walk around this box, and from all 4 sides, it's very neat and very tidy. All it needs is one power cable going into it. One of our other digital signage solutions is using plasma TVs in portrait. It's a very, very simple technique, but often when we see screens like this, our brain instantly associates them with being a TV, but when you put them in portrait, all of a sudden they stop looking like a TV, even though they still are. So this is really good because it looks more like it would be a printed graphic, but it's not because it's in portrait. The other reason this is good is it uses up a lot less floor space. If you imagine this screen was this way, the screen sticks out into your event space, which stops your guest flow. Whereas like this, it's a much more compact footprint, but it gives you the same real estate for graphics to go on. So it's a much more space-efficient solution. One of the other ways that we rig our plasma TVs is using our custom plasma stands. This is actually a piece of truss mounted inside a wooden surround with a steel base plate, again covered in wood. And once again, because it's all plyboard, it gets repainted. We can also clad it in graphics, paint it whatever color you want, or we can put vinyl transfers on it. For most high-end environments, this is much more appropriate in terms of its styling because it's just a lot more minimal and it doesn't really jump out at you. What we're trying to do is make it all about the TV and not about the way it's standing up. So this is a solution we use a lot for car showrooms, show homes, or in retail environments. All the cablings run internally so that you don't see it, and then it comes out the bottom through a discrete hole. What's more about these stands is that we can attach TVs to both sides of them, and we can also attach TVs in both landscape and portrait mode. That way, from one stand, we're getting a maximum utilization in terms of having screens on both sides. So we looked at lots of reception desks that we'd seen over the years, and when some clients asked us to make a special one for them, we got all the best bits we'd seen everywhere and put it together to make one reception desk, which we think is a really fantastic design. So first up, the structure of the reception desk is made of 18mm ply, which is a very, very strong material, quite heavy, but it also is durable, and if it gets a bit wet, it's fine, we can reseal it and it survives. At the moment, this is covered in a material called Formica, which is kind of like the sort of stuff you might see on a quite strong kitchen work surface. It gives us a really, really sharp, glossy finish that we couldn't achieve with paint. It's quite durable, and we can also easily replace it. So right now it's in black. It could just as easily be any color. One of the reasons we like Formica is because it's quite typically seen in shop retail fit-outs. So it's got that kind of quality of finish that wouldn't look at all out of place in a high-end store in central London somewhere. The other good thing about Formica is that we can put vinyl transfers on it very, very easily, and it becomes a continuous extension of the material. So if we transfer a logo on here with some negative space as a background, it just becomes part of the desk, and again, looks very much like a custom set piece that was built for one particular client, when in reality it's actually an off-the-shelf product. Something else we did to make our reception desks really good is to build some lighting in. So around the bottom, we've got a cantilever section that hangs out, and we've got some RGB LED strip built in. The reason that's good is it really makes the reception desk a feature. So if we're outside a venue or somewhere central where guests are supposed to mingle, it becomes very clear to the guests that that's the place you need to head towards because it's so well lit. In terms of height and transport, right now it's sitting on its own wheelboard, which is how we transport it. So it's actually a lot higher than it would usually be for event use. It would normally sit directly on the ground, not on the wheelboard. In terms of its height, this is the kind of height position we've got. We've built it to be ideal for receptionists to stand behind the counter and give out passes or collect tickets. But it's also a suitable height if they want to sit behind it. There's a desk behind here, which is a really good height for them to put their legs underneath as well. Okay, standing behind the reception desk now, you'll see this is a height where you could take tickets or give out passes. Built in here, it's got more LED strip, so the working area is really well lit, so you can read your paperwork and see your pens and paper and all that kind of stuff. That's also good because it very much concentrates the light in the working area, and it doesn't really spill beyond that. So if for your event you want to create an overall quite dark space, you can do that, yet still have good working light here for the staff working on the event, which is really good. We tend to make the interiors of these products very much match the outside. So the counter that the staff work at is the same Formica coated material as the frontage. So when guests look over, they see a continuation of the same aesthetic throughout. Some of the finer details that we put inside our reception desks as well is there's space for 19-inch racks either side of the reception desk. Now we put them in because there's various technical equipment we might want to use that can go in there. In particular though, we thought this could also be the place where any network switching or internet control equipment can go. That might seem a little bit out of place for a reception desk, but we realised that on events where there is a reception desk, there's normally some element of need for data control, Wi-Fi or internet, and it just makes sense to include that all in one central location, which can be pre-prepped in our warehouse before it comes to site. Also, this reception desk has extensive power built into it, so you can plug in laptops or phones or phone chargers or whatever. So again, it makes it a very useful feature to have. The reception desk also has 2 internal desk heights. At the moment, it's set at the lower height where the staff members can put their legs underneath it like a normal desk. This panel can also be at a higher level, which allows the staff behind it to have much easier access to the things that they're working with. It can also be used as a wider DJ booth as well, which the higher level is more appropriate for. Typically speaking, I would say that speakers are one of the most visually obnoxious parts of any production. They dot around the event space, they often block windows, all that kind of thing, and they have cabling that needs to go around event spaces to get to them. So we're going to talk through a few different concepts here of how we make audio a much more discrete element of a production in a premium environment. The first thing I want to show you is a very traditional arrangement. This is a general purpose 281 speaker, good box, good quality, quite powerful, and we use it very extensively for a range of projects. But as you can see, it's quite a large size cabinet, so visually that jumps out at you a little bit, so not so great in certain environments. And this is a tripod stand, which is extensively and widely used by a lot of audio companies, including ourselves. But in higher end environments, they're quite big, quite ugly. They also use a lot of floor space. Furthermore, it presents a trip hazard in that because they stick out where someone could trip over them, we have to either fence them off, put a barrier up, or take the bases of them. So that's not really ideal. So that's your traditional arrangement. So I want to show you now a Martin Audio DD6. This is a very high quality, small footprint, hi-fi sounding loudspeaker. It's very small, which is great because it means we can often hide them in things like a windowsill or behind some set piece or even behind furniture on site. The size helps us massively. But what is also good about these visually is that we use round base stands a lot. These are fantastic because they use up virtually no floor space. A guest can walk right up next to them and they don't present a trip hazard. So that arrangement is very popular for us in high-end environments. Good quality equipment, discreet, tidy and small. The next system I want to show you is our K-Array system. This is quite new technology and it's utilizing a column speaker, which is a micro line array. It's very good because it's incredibly thin, so quite discreet visually on site. Furthermore, it's got a built-in self-powered bass bin on the bottom. So the footprint that it utilizes is very small, much smaller than a tripod stand, yet it's a complete system. The other good thing about this is we can actually get the speaker quite high up in the air so we can get much better coverage and throw for certain types of events. And because it's self-powered in the bass bin, we don't need to have extensive amplifier racks, mixers and processing gear, which uses up space. Everything's built into that one box. Now, in environments such as shops or in showrooms or people's private homes, we just often don't have the space to put amplifier racks in the corner of the room. So this is absolutely perfect because all we need to do is plug this into the wall and we've got a complete system. Included in this system as well is some basic processing and mixing so we can plug microphones and audio sources directly into it. And the next speaker I want to show you is some very new technology. This is a wireless battery-powered speaker. We've been playing with battery-powered equipment and radio transmission for years now, but it's only quite recently that this technology's got so good that we can use it very extensively on projects where we need to maintain sound for quite a prolonged period. What makes this special is that it's got batteries built into it, so we don't need to run power to the speaker. It's also got an RF receiver in it, so it gets us audio signal via radio transmission, so no signal cabling. What that means is on site, we can literally go and put these around the venue, and there's no cabling whatsoever needed, and they're completely self-contained. It makes it a really good product when build times are tight and things have to look super tidy. The other thing that's good with these as well is they have processing built into the back of them, so we can mix in an audio source, a microphone, put a memory stick in. It also has extensive control capabilities for delaying and EQing and so on. So this is very much a complete system for small to medium scale events.